Good day, everyone. I am Noreen Dalion, and now I'm going to discuss the ARP. ARP stands for Address Resolution Protocol. It is a protocol or procedure that connects an ever-changing Internet Protocol or IP address to a fixed physical machine address, also known as a Media Access Control or MAC address in a local area network or LAN. What is MAC address? The MAC address is the physical address of the device. An example of MAC address is this. Whenever a device needs to communicate with another device on a local area network, it needs the MAC address because it identifies the actual device. And devices use ARP to acquire the MAC address for that device. So let's see how this works. We have example here, and we have four computers and a switch. Our computers had been assigned IP addresses 192.168.01.1.2.3.4. Let's say computer A want to communicate with the computer D. Now that we know their IP addresses, take note, switches are layer 2 devices which use MAC addresses, not IP addresses. So for that, we must find out their MAC addresses so they can communicate. The way it does it's simple. Computer A will shout out to the entire network saying, who is 192.168.0.4? Tell me your MAC address. So now, computer A will send out a broadcast message out on the network asking every device which computer has the specific IP address and will ask for their MAC address. Then, the computer that has matching IP address will then respond back and tell computer A its MAC address. Then once the computer A receives the MAC address of computer D, the communication can now take place between the two. Now, once computer A has the MAC address, it will store this information in the ARP cache. Now, let's talk about what exactly is ARP cache thing we've been talking about. Well, the ARP cache is a temporary kind of table of all known IP address to MAC address mapping. So anytime that we do an ARP request and we get a response with a MAC address, the computer puts that in ARP cache. ARP cache includes both static and dynamic entries. In static is going to be for things like broadcast IP address that related directly to the frame FFFFFF, while dynamic entries are not permanent. So let's try this live and in action. We need to open our Windows PowerShell and run it as our administrator. I'm going to start by typing ART-A. This is going to show us the computer's app cache. We have the internet address, which is the IP address. We also have the physical address, which is the link MAC address. And we have a type, which is a dynamic and static. We have three static entry. The top one is something called a direct broadcast address, and the bottom two are multicast addresses. So, because my computer already knows the MAC address of 192.168.0.4, I am going to run ARP-D 192.168.0.4, and this is going to delete that entry. And if I type ARP-A again, we see that entry has been removed. Now, let's discuss the benefit of learning ARP. First, makes communication possible. ARP allows devices on a local network to communicate with each other by linking a device's IP address with its MAC address. Second, improves network performance. ARP cache stores the IP MAC address mapping, reducing the number of ARP broadcasts required for communication. So by that, it improves the network performance. Third, easy to troubleshoot. ARP is simply to troubleshoot and diagnose network problems, as the ARP cache can be easily viewed and analyzed. So, in conclusion, ARP is necessary because the software addresses or IP address of the host or computers connected to the network needs to be translated to a hardware address or MAC address. Without ARP, a host will not be able to figure out the hardware address of any other host or another host. So that's it for today, and thank you.